Tasks is a great module to add to a post if you need volunteers or people to sign up to help with a project of any kind. When creating a post, select the Add Module button and then add the task module. Fill out the task description. Let users know what this task is. Set a volunteer coordinator for the task. The volunteer coordinator will be the one to receive notifications when someone applies for the task. In the Task Options section, choose the date and time your task starts and ends. If it is an ongoing task that you're always looking for volunteers, you can leave this section blank. Choose the time zone for this task. This defaults to the hub's specific time zone. Set the number of volunteers needed for this task. If there is no limit to how many people can volunteer or sign up, leave this blank. If there is a minimum age requirement to volunteer, put it here. If there is no age requirement or you don't want to specify one, just leave this as any. You can add additional instructions for your participants here. Additional instructions could be directions to the volunteering location, what someone needs to bring with them in order to volunteer, and so on. Lastly, you can add questions for your volunteers to answer during sign-up. For example, you might be providing lunch on the day of the task for people who sign up and need to know if they are allergic to anything or have any dietary restrictions. I could also ask for their t-shirt size for volunteer shirts, or other details that might help me provide a pleasant experience for everyone involved. It's important to be conscious of the questions you're asking your volunteers. Don't ask for unnecessary personal information. To learn about what kind of information you can ask your users, check out our recommended cybersecurity e-learning course from our partners over at cyber.se. Have more than one task that you need volunteers for? No problem. You can add as many tasks to a post as you want by selecting Add Task and filling out the information for each. Once your post is ready, create and publish it to your hub. When published, users can then apply for your tasks. A user does not have to be registered in the hub to apply for a task. Users who are logged into the hub when they apply for a task will have their information filled out automatically. Should they find out afterwards that they cannot be available to help with the task, they will also be able to return and leave it. Users receive a confirmation message when they sign up for a task, and the volunteer coordinator also receives a message that a new user has applied for a task. If you have set a maximum number of people that can apply for the task, once that number is reached, the task will be marked as full. Once people have applied for your task, you can manage the volunteers directly in the hub or go back to the builder. In the hub, click the Volunteers button to see all the volunteers for that task. You can select the volunteer's name to see information regarding that volunteer and their answers to any questions you asked for that task. If you're accessing on your mobile device, you can select their phone number to call them directly. This is very handy. To do more with the list of volunteers, select the three-dot menu. You can select all volunteers and export their information to a CSV file. You can then take that list and create a private channel for them in the hub to communicate regarding the specific task, or you can use the list elsewhere. To remove someone from the volunteers list, select the volunteer or volunteers you would like to remove and then Remove Selected. This is helpful for those people who may have applied for the task but are not registered users of the hub and cannot leave the task themselves. And lastly, if you have a long list of volunteers, you can choose the Manage Volunteers menu and sort the list by name, which is the default, or by the date they signed up for the task. To access and manage volunteers in the builder, navigate to the post in the builder and select Tasks to view the different tasks for that post. Find the task you want to manage the volunteers for and select Volunteers. The setup is the same here as it is in the hub. Have fun creating posts with the task module.